I have some good news and I have some bad news. Let's start with the bad news. The bad news is that due to a few incredibly idiotic oversights on my part, I actually deleted the last maybe 4 or 5 hours of gameplay footage. I was trying to make some room on my PC and I thought they were backed up and they were not. The good news is that it was mostly unimportant stuff, and we can kind of skip to the end of the Belobog quest here, and I'll just do my best to catch you up. First thing to note is that we're now Equilibrium level 1, and we didn't struggle at all with the Equilibrium challenge bosses. The next important piece of information is that we finally have a good healer in the form of Natasha on our squad. This makes Natasha, Danheng, March 7th, and Serval our new most used team lineup. As far as 5 stars go, we now have Archer, which we get for free, including all of his materials, which was actually quite helpful for our 4-star leveling. We also pulled 2 very early 5 stars in Yanting and Welt Yang from the standard banner. I'm not too mad about the footage that I lost because a lot of it was just doing side quests and random things in order to get our Trailblaze EXP up so we could get to Trailblaze level 20. We were blocked from moving forward with the main quest until we got to Trailblaze level 20 and until we finished Equilibrium level 1. At this point, Branya has just come back from the underworld, and now Cocolia is about to take her to find out the quote-unquote truth about the Stellaron.
Is Branya really safe?
You care about her, huh?
Oh,
You must have become close friends.
friends.
Close
Right.
is a bit much.
One of my favorite parts about Honkai Star Rail just in general are the puzzles and how they're different for each location that you go to, but these Belobog spinning puzzles are some of my favorites. Although I'm glad that after Belobog they get rid of this weird secondary part where you have to follow this thing around in order to get the chest. It's really laggy and also just completely unnecessary.
You bet I do. We go way back. He's easy to talk to. Watch me persuade him.
Doesn't he have like a huge crush on Serval?
Still so... You look good.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So far, our lineup hasn't had too many issues, but the main one is just that they're very greedy for skill points. We also are still relying very heavily on both of our sustain units, so we can't replace either one of them with more damage, which means that these battles go on for quite a while. So even though we haven't run into any issues with the main storyline fights, there's still a lot of room for improvement. Our team does especially well when the weaknesses are in our favor, like in our Landau versus Landau fight with Serval versus Gepard. Or Gepard. Jeopard. Serval against her brother. Oh, hello.
Fragmentum activity is intensifying.
Partway through the Belobog quest, we unlocked the conventional memoir part of the travelogue. I was immediately overwhelmed by the amount of new stuff, but then something caught my eye. There is a lot. There is a lot. This is what we need. This is what we need. While it was so tempting to go ahead and unlock this early so we could access the Hunt version of March 7th because she is such a good sub DPS unit, ultimately I decided it wasn't really in the spirit of our 4-star only challenge and that we would unlock her when the time comes, or if things got especially desperate. I find this part of the quest where you have to chase the echoes around the fragmentum and turn on all of the mechanisms pretty boring, so you'll see that I really struggled to stay focused during this part. Focus on the task at hand. Get to the Shinjo. I was able to stay on task long enough to open the first energy hub, discover a cavern of corrosion for the first time, and even get the second energy hub before I got distracted again. Should I gather some relics? Yeah, why not? Alright. We got 1 4-star relic, and it's bad. After activating the final mechanism, I ended up getting distracted because I was cocky with how well our team was doing and wanted to try it out against an elite enemy. It's allergic to lightning. I didn't catch that I was calling the weakness an allergy until I watched the footage back, but I'm definitely going to keep saying that from now on. At one point during this battle, Natasha used her skill on Danheng, which prompted his "don't worry about me" voice line, and I ended up going on a bit of a side quest.
Don't worry about me.
Is his voice actor Canadian? I'm looking it up. Danheng voice actor. Nicholas Lund.
Don't hesitate.
Are you from Canada? It does not say. This just says American, but that's Google AI, and I don't trust Google AI. My research was inconclusive, so if you happen to know, let me know. After losing March 7th, it was all downhill, and we lost Serval, then Natasha, then Dan Heng, before conceding defeat to the elite enemy. After this defeat, I decided to just go back to the main storyline where we didn't have any issues and go against the first version of Cocolia. Oh boy. I feel optimistic about this battle, but I'm nervous after that last battle that maybe we're not as strong as I thought we were. We're so close. This version of Cocolia gave us no problems, but the final part of the Belobog quest came with some pretty big issues. Team must include the Trailblazer. Oh no. At a level greater or equal to 30. Oh no, I have to level up the Trailblazer to 30? This was a huge hit to our 4-star only challenge. This meant that I needed to try to find a group of 3 4-stars within the 4-stars that we currently had access to that would have good synergy and could defeat Cocolia in her boss form without the help of a 4th 4-star, since that would have to be Kalis instead. I decided to really zero in on the weaknesses involved, which were fire, lightning, and quantum, and then level up our 4-stars that had those associated elements. So I started by leveling Qingque and also making sure that she had a leveled up light cone. Then I leveled up her traces. Then I decided to get a couple more warps on the off chance that we could pull Gallagher, because he would be a great unit for this fight since he has fire as his element, which is one of Cocolia's weaknesses, and he can heal. The Honkai Star Rail gods apparently only heard half of what I was asking for and did give me a 4-star that has a fire element, but it wasn't Gallagher. Welcome to level 40, Hook. I immediately began leveling up Hook, giving her a good light cone, and doing her relics, which made me take a look at the relics that the other characters had as well. We don't need crit rate on any of these people, are you kidding me? I had made the mistake of trusting the fast equip option for most of the characters with their relics, which was giving them relics that would be completely unhelpful. Fast equip was choosing things like crit rate or crit damage, which really doesn't make sense at this point in the game since we wouldn't be able to get enough crit damage or crit rate to really hit crits regularly or to hit above 100%. So I replaced a bunch of relics, leveled up Hook's traces, and this is where we ended up. Her attack is 589, which is more than Dan Heng or anyone else except for Serval. So after panicking and shuffling everything around, the team that we ended up with is Serval, Hook, Kalis, and Natasha, since we had to have Kalis on the team as forced by the game.
Rise, engine of creation!
The first challenge we face is actually this battle against 3 waves of enemies, which gave us the perfect opportunity to try out this weird team and see if we could figure out how to deal with just 3 4-stars. Next, I had to just wait to die and spam my basic attack. Eventually, Cocolia succeeds in killing us, even if it takes her a minute. After catching the attention of Kapoth, we are able to walk on the path of preservation, and it's time for the real Cocolia battle. Because this battle functions somewhat as a tutorial for a preservation Trailblazer, we are forced several times throughout the battle to use Kalis' skill or even his ultimate, with no way out of it. Because of how Kalis' preservation form works, he continually gains stacks throughout the fight, meaning that he will get a special basic attack and he will continue to supply the team with shields throughout. So there's really no way to avoid using him for more than just his basic attack. Because of all that, this battle ended up being easier than almost anything we had fought so far, and definitely easier than the elite enemies. I was also pretty impressed with how Hook performs throughout the battle. She regains a lot of energy pretty quickly. She can even heal herself, which makes her less of a burden on Natasha for having to use her skill to heal Hook. And she deals a lot of damage. I definitely foresee Hook being a unit that I use even more in the future because of how fun and easy she was to use in various team compositions. Finishing this battle opens up the Path of Preservation for Trailblazer and also opens the Echo of War. This means I can go back and do the Cocolia battle again with only 4 stars and without cheating by having Kalis on the team. I decided to change up the squad a little bit by getting rid of March 7th and including Qingque so that way we could really take advantage of all of those elements of weakness. This meant having to finish leveling her up though because I only got about halfway last time before I ended up pulling Hook. I finished up a couple more of her traces and then we were good to go. I also like that Qingque isn't too greedy for skill points since I just plan to ignore her whole gambling aspect. I decided to keep the entire battle in, although I've sped up a lot of parts of it. I was pretty locked in for this first half, so I don't really say much until the second half, but overall, this first half goes pretty smoothly.
Ready to be crushed. Time for the old world to collapse.
Ready to crowd attack. Turn it up. That's it.
Justin, just a little something. That's better.
Ready to jam.
Choose some strike.
Song for you. Keep up.
Brave new world. Run for a shot. Make it a house.
Turn it up. Still surrender. Ready to lose yourself? You can fight it or rock with it.
Naughty child. That's better. My turn. Justin, just a little something.
Ready to jam.
Let's rock. Ready to be crushed. Time for the old world to collapse. Look at the draw. Please, and victory!
Okay, phase 2.
The only redemption.
Ready to crowd attack.
Power translates into hope.
Sid.
Oh dear.
That's better.
Ready to jam.
Justin, just a little something.
She needs to do way more healing.
Ready to jam.
I don't know, guys.
Go the path.
Song's for you. Keep up. You can fight it or rock with it.
My turn.
I don't know.
The only redemption. Time for a shot. Taste. Let's rock. Power.
I don't know if we're gonna survive this. Okay, somehow we did.
Ready to crowd attack.
That's better.
Let me go, let me go, let me go.
Justin, just a little something. Think about it. Taste and go the path. Wake the dust. Look at the draw.
We might just do it. We might just do it.
Victory!
Whoo, okay. It may have taken us 5 minutes, but we did do it. We defeated Cocolia with only 4 stars. No Kalis, no other 5 stars, just 4 stars. Honestly, I'm not sure we could have done it without randomly pulling Hook and without leveling Qingque, so I think part of this was getting really lucky with our pulls right before the battle. With this new squad though, we're going to be able to move into the Xianzhou, which I'm really excited about. Fantilia is a notoriously difficult boss, and I'm excited to see how our 4 stars are going to stack up against something like that, even if it's going to take us a little while to get to that point. I'm also just excited to continue the challenge, to see what 4 stars we continue to collect, which 4 stars we continue to level, and which places give us the most trouble. So with that, thanks for watching, see you in the next episode, and if there's a 4 star you think that would make this team even better, let me know.